What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. Oh, my life is nuts. And I've been extremely fortunate, extremely blessed, and made a lot of right moves. And some fun wrong ones too, but still made a lot of right moves in my life. One that makes me laugh to the point that I want to share it. But not to the point like I would tell a lot of people this, but I'll tell you guys this because I just think it's comical. And I'm going to try my best to keep the details vague. You got to understand my upbringing. I was raised in a very, very, very rough trailer park. It's not even there anymore. It's an empty field now. But I wish we could take cameras out there and show you guys where I was raised. I was 8 years old. And I was that dirty kid that ran around the trailer park. My parents made some right moves along the way, and they came up and a quick story in where I used to stay at background. About 1988, we were living in Keller's Trailer Park, number 3 Keller's Trailer Park to be exact. Single wide, wheels and all. Cinder block steps. I'm painting you a picture. So my parents get a call from my uncle saying, hey, I'm going through a divorce. I'm selling my house. My uncle built this beautiful home on the east side of Greenville. He says, this would be a great opportunity for you guys. I only want this for it. I basically just want to dump it. I got basically either sell it to you guys or I'm going to lose it to her. Even though it was a good deal, my parents had to rake and scrape and do everything. I mean, I remember hearing the story that my grandfather had to loan my father money to put in his checking account just to make his checking account look good to apply for the loan to get this house. They get it, and we move to the east side of Greenville. And, that was big time at a big 3,400 square foot house, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, just a neat house, big driveway, big acre lot. I mean, I grew up on a rented space in a trailer park that was 14 by 70 was the trailer. It was maybe 10 foot wider. So 28 by 80 lot is what I played in the majority of the time. And keep in mind, take 14 by 70 out of it. Matter of fact, there's a picture on Instagram of me in the back of one of the old service trucks in front of the trailer as a little kid. So that's where I grew up. And now I got this big old yard, big long driveway. I remember my room was so small in the trailer that the end of my bed was about this far from my dresser. You couldn't even open the bottom drawers of my dresser because they hit my bed, a little twin bed. It was so small. And that house was kind of special. It was my parents' first home, and it's where I grew up. And, all the stories about, getting outrun by my dad was leaving that house and going to school. He had the SS Camaro, and of course I had the SN95 Mustang. I went, 20 years old, decided I want to buy my own home. I sold my very first collector car, a 1963 Falcon Sprint, and bought my first house about 2 miles down the road, just a nice little entry-level house. It was brand new, one of those little neighborhoods where all the houses looked just the same, just different color siding. It was a great home. I lived there for 8 years. Went through a horrible divorce. House didn't feel like home anymore. Decided to sell it. I moved to a small place in Travelers Rest. It was actually a barn that had been converted into like a studio apartment up in the loft. And it was actually kind of neat how they had it fixed up. So I stayed there for just a little while. For a few months, I bought a lot, was looking at house plans, yada, yada, yada. And my dad calls me up because they decide they're going to up and move to the lake. So they're building a house on the lake and it's almost done. And, you got to think my old house was on a cul-de-sac. If you didn't live on that street, the only reason you'd be going down that street, you were lost. So they had a for sale sign stuck in the front yard because they were too cheap to hire a realtor. And basically my dad called me one of those uncle deals on this house saying, listen, I don't know how much you're about to spend to build a house, but I guarantee I can sell you this one a lot cheaper. And you know, think about it, I was going to build like a 2,000 square foot house. Well, now I can have a 3,400 square foot house for about a quarter of what I was going to spend. Hell yeah. Get it in your name, bud. It's yours. Easy enough. I'm staying in my old parents' house. I actually stayed in my old bedroom for the first 2 years living there. It was just weird staying in the master. It stayed empty. We redid a lot of the inside of the house, and I moved into the master after that. You know, and it was so neat, and I lived there for years, and I loved it. I loved the neighborhood. I loved everything about it. And, you know, the Greenville housing market's changed. You got to think about it. Greenville is just like any other town. You know, there's always a hot area, and it moves, you know, over time. You know, back when I grew up, that was the place to live, was some Taylor's, the east side. And the east side is still a popular area and it's still fun, but now they've moved a little further east is the it thing. And everybody wants to be 5 minutes from 85, 5 minutes from 385, which is our two major highways that crisscross right here in beautiful G Vegas. And you got to think about, you know, BMW and the airport, all that's right there in that 5 and 5. And that's the big thing. You know, Rob, you know, you're getting pretty successful. You want to get your Bell house, you know, and you want to move to this area. Everybody's here. Everybody's anybody. This is where all you doctors, lawyers, attorneys, everybody lives. There's 2 hot spots in Greenville to live right this minute. That's right here on Main Street and right here where I'm at now. And that's the thing. Like if you want condo life, you go downtown. You want McMansion life, you live here. You know, hey, I'm all about it. You know, I'm a little bougie now. You know, I like to think that, you know, I can reflect on my trailer park, but, you know, I like a house with a foundation under it now. You know, I'm sophisticated. We went looking at houses. Of course, realtor was showing some houses. And of course, I love this area. You know, and I'm like, man, this is nice. I loved everything but the damn prices. I'm back up there. Your property values are going through the roof everywhere, but Greenville, everybody and their damn brother is moving here because they found out about our little secret here that Greenville's just fucking awesome. Find a house. Got to move quick. Got to move quick because everybody's buying them. You got to think about it. A realtor is nothing but a glorified used house salesman. Just throwing that out there. They got a fancy name. They're a realtor. We get moved in. Gorgeous neighborhood, golf course community. Don't want to give too much away. Don't really want to say where I live because I have enough damn weirdos that ride by my house now. In the words of my buddy Tim Greer, highfalutin type of place. Matter of fact, I'd never forget, we're actually leaving to go to SEMA, year before last. We're leaving to go to SEMA, and he shows up in the camper truck and parks it in my driveway and gets out with his bib overalls on. And he goes, Lord have mercy, just you living in this house. I thought it was a damn apartment complex. And I mean, he's just like country come to town. You know, I'm thinking, my God, my neighbors are going to shit a brick seeing this piece of shit sitting in the driveway for a week. But, you know, we had a great time in Vegas. Neighbors didn't kick me out over it. And you got to think about HOAs, golf course. I mean, in this general area where I'm at, we've got PGA golfers. We've got attorneys. And like, I'm talking about like the attorneys that hire attorneys, good ones, not ambulance chasers. A lot of big names in this area and beyond live in this little circle with this guy that sells used cars in West Greenville. So here I am, highfalutin. You know, I'm thinking like, Rob, you got to straighten up a little bit. You know, you got to take your little trailer park ass and tighten up. Tighten up. This is big boy shit. There ain't no funny games no more. You know, this is big boy stuff. You know, and I'm thinking over just because you can afford it don't mean necessarily you can be there. You need to be there. But I'm faking it till I make it. You know, I'm just gonna hold it together. And I seen the neighborhood pop up in the news. That's my hood. Brothel busted. Let me get this shit straight. I moved from the trailer park to the burbs, from the burbs to the highfalutin, high society, high every damn thing. And you're running a whorehouse. I could hit a golf ball and hit it close. Me, not the PGA guy. Me. Big bust, big stink about it. And then, of course, money makes things go away. And so it just vanished and quick to talk about. It tickles me, though. It's like, all this time, it's like you made it. And I'm really hesitant about telling people where I live sometimes because I don't want them to get the wrong idea. And I love the house. And I personally have nothing wrong with the area. I'm a little mad they didn't tell me about the brothel. But, all these damn amenities, and you left that one out. You told me about water polo, but you didn't tell me about the whorehouse. Thanks a lot, Tyler, Realtor of the Year. I'm not saying I necessarily take advantage of it, but it's nice to know. I'm just saying, douchebag Matt comes by. Hey, Matt, you bored? Hell, hop on the golf cart. Just saying. Not many neighborhoods are offering that now. The trailer park didn't even have that shit. But they're having it here. And I just thought, that's the craziest thing. All this time, I'm thinking like, old country come to town. I just moved up to a better class of losers. It's always something. But I tell you what, it made me laugh because I've got a sense of humor about everything, and hopefully it don't hurt the property values too bad. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. What's up? I hear you breathing. And now I got this big room, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. I'm more worried about Maroli than this. But anyway, and like, just, I moved up to a better class of losers.